Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football. This is our draft prospect show, and along with Logan Landers, Vincent Turner joins me. I'm Harper LeBel, and our draft prospect for today is a guy that I have been very impressed with. Vincent, the one thing about him, I don't know how much he weighs anymore. I've seen it's up to 290. I've seen it in the mid 260s, but Shemar Stewart, a defensive tackle, really a guy that can play inside and out, move all over the place. He's a solid talent. He's one of the top prospects on the defensive line / edge position. This is a guy who got tremendous talent. He's got great speed for his size, and he should be a day one prospect that goes off the board before we get to the end of the day.
Looks like a football player.
How about that?
Didn't know he was out of Miami, Florida, with so many great football players that came out of that great city. Got a little bit of Chris Doman in him, more athletic. Got the length like the great one, the legend L.C. Greenwood that played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he got the physical tools of Mark Gastineau. Remember how he was real exciting with the sack of change with the New York Jets. This gentleman right here is going to be an excellent football player at the next level. Played at Texas A&M with so many great so many great defensive linemen. Sam Adams, Charlie Kruger, Ray Childers, Jacob Green, John Roper. This gentleman right here is going to represent the 12th man in the NFL. Back to you, Hawk.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got all the things that you would want to have. When he tested at the combine, his vertical was 40 inches. His 40 time was 4.59, which speaks volumes about his speed. His broad jump was 10 feet, 11 inches. This guy is athletic. He's big at 6'5". 267 is what he was measured at when the season started. There are folks that right now they're saying is he 296. So he's added weight, but he still runs that kind of time. That's the thing that impresses me. He's a 5-star from Monsignor Pace High School. He was an Under Armour All-American coming out of high school. His freshman year at A&M, he starts 6 of the 12 games that he plays in. He's played in 37 games in his 3 seasons there at A&M. He's only a junior, so he's coming out early. And Vincent, one of the holdbacks would be, hey, he's a young kid. He still has to grow. But that also is an asset, in my opinion. And that, guess what? He's a young kid. He's going to grow. And he's going to get better. If he's able to maintain that speed and keep a small waist, that is sky's the limit for him in terms of his potential and what he's able to do to disrupt offenses, both in the run game and the pass game.
Game film, LSU this past season. That's when I noticed him. And look what he did against Will Campbell. Worked him. Look what he did against Emory Jones. Worked him. Both of them gentlemen at LSU are both high-rated offensive tackles coming into this draft.
Yep.
But what really excited me watching that game that night between LSU and Texas A&M, his open field acceleration. What I mean by that, Hawk, running people down. I seen on one play, I think the running back for LSU, a receiver, took a bubble screen about 15 yards down the field. Here comes this guy at that size running him down, man. If he gets with the right team, this guy can really be an extremely good football player. And I hope that what happens to him, because the only thing people saying was he wasn't productive in his 3 years at Texas A&M. He was a little bit productive this year. I think he had 4.5 sacks. But if he gets in that right system, we could be talking about another guy we're talking about that just got paid a lot of money in free agency with the Cleveland Browns. What is his name, Harp? What is his name?
Myles Garrett is the best player for the Browns.
Thank you. He's going to be earning that type of money. Back to you, Harp.
Well, I was looking at some of the other guys that are on the list with him for this year. Abdul Carter out of Penn State is listed as the #1 edge rusher. James Pierce. Now, we've talked about James. James, I thought, was a little skinny, and if he's added some weight, that's going to only enhance his ability, especially for a draft pick. But he's going to make somebody's roster, and I think a little bit heavier means a little bit better for him because he was listed at only 243 pounds going into the season. But Shemar Stewart is listed #3. And you've got Michael Williams out of Georgia, Mike Green out of Marshall, Jack Sawyer, who we've talked about. Jack had a great playoff there, really showed his talent. he's still listed as 6. So if you're better than Jack, as good as he played, you better be bringing your A game. And let's talk a little bit about his A game and what he's got. The power that he has off the line of scrimmage. I don't even need to look at my notes there. You saw it, Vincent. He gets into an offensive lineman as good as anybody. He's fast and powerful, strong hands. He locks out well, but that first step is what a 235-pound guy would have, right? His first step is amazing. Now I will look at my notes. He has great agility for a guy with a bigger body. And again, at 6'5", he's a bigger body guy. The angles that he takes to get to the quarterback are very, very good. He is above board on balance. He converts his speed into pressure instantly and power even quicker. He's a great bull rush. He's got great agility, and he's got leverage along with that. So there's some things that he does. He's disruptive when he gets into the backfield. He sets the edge violently in terms of, because he's a little bit bigger and thicker than most guys, he goes against a 310, 15, 20-pound offensive lineman. He doesn't get eaten up like some of the smaller guys do. There are some things that he does that you mentioned just a moment ago, Vincent. With all of the athleticism and power and speed that we just talked about, he only had 4.5 sacks. And people were expecting a lot more out of this man, maybe double digit. Hopefully he gets to the ability and the point where he learns in the pro game how to get the effort into bigger numbers, because you're going to get paid if you have 10 sacks. You get paid more if you get 12 or 14. They ask if he can finish. Sometimes he gets tired and he plays a little bit higher. Who doesn't? But I'm just saying those are things that people notice on film. Sometimes he allows blockers to get into his frame. Again, that's when he gets tired. But Vincent, you've seen plays all over the place where that's not a factor, where when he's fresh and ready to go, he is a stalwart. He's a guy that is tough to defend against. You got to know where he is. And sometimes you have to have a chip or another guy come help and block him.
I'm going to say this. I watched the LSU game this year, and he went up, as I mentioned earlier, against them 2 offensive tackles supposed to be high-rated draft picks, and Emory Jones and Will Campbell. Had an outstanding game against Texas. Played real well against South Carolina. Played real well against the Florida Gators. This is a guy, when you're playing football and you're going to go up against somebody every day, and you say, hey, I got Vincent Turner. I'm going to take some plays off today. Or I got Harper LeBel. I'm going to take some plays off. You get in front of this man right here, Shemar Stewart, you better bring your lunch pail, because you're going to have to put in some work all day. All day. In that LSU game, it looked like he was bringing it all day. And he wasn't trying to sidestep. He was coming with the quickness, and he was engaging with them offensive linemen. This is a gentleman, I'm going to say it one more time. If he gets in the right system, the right team drafts him and coaches him up, I could see him being a very excellent player at the next level. I'm talking about a Derek Thomas type talent, a Myles Garrett type talent. And I'm going to say this as I dropped the mic today here on 100 Yards Football. He's got Mark Gastineau physical tools. Back to you, Harper.
Well, Gastineau used to celebrate up and down with Marty Lyons, and you get a sack. He'd almost burn up more energy with the dance than he did in actually getting to the quarterback and putting him to the ground. But that's for another conversation. The one thing about him also, the good news that he had is Nick Scorton, another defensive end out of A&M who's coming out of the draft this year, another 6'4", 280-pound guy. So there were bookends on the defensive end there at A&M, and what a difference they made for those guys. The Aggies obviously are going to have some big shoes filled in order to take their places. And I'm sure the cooks at the meals are going to appreciate them not being there anymore. But their talent level, obviously, they're great players, and they're going to get to move on at the next level. So 2 of the top 5 picks from the defensive line position both played there in College Station. And what a thrill it is for us to talk about Shemar Stewart. I think he, outside chance of being an early first rounder. It just depends, Vincent, in my opinion, about how quickly some of these guys go. There are folks that are saying Abdul Carter will be gone in the first 3 for sure. James Pierce could be in 10, and then Shemar is the next guy. So if there's a run on defensive tackle / edge rushers, he could be gone before the 15th pick. Obviously, that's a great payday to have. But his 40 time, like I said, in the combine, his pro day, everything else, if he just keeps his nose to the grindstone and keep showing people how much stronger he is, how much faster. It's going to be a great day for him on draft day.
Yes, sir. Very, very explosive football player that's got a lot of ability to be a star at the next level. The 12th man, Texas A&M, Mr. Shemar Stewart. You're going to be a football player at the next level if you listen and you get with a coach that can work with you and take you to making more money on the next level.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say it one more time. The size is impressive. 6'6". You right, Harper. I've read some stories now. He's tipping in between 280 and 290. With that type of athletic ability and skills, this is a guy that we could be talking about maybe Hall of Fame. But I'm not going to jump the broom yet. He's got to get into the right system, and if he gets to the right coaching staff, his level of play is going to go up to another level. Back to you, Harper.
I think you take him out of being an outside linebacker and that, just an edge guy. He's going to be a 4-3. He's going to have his hand in the ground the whole time. He's going to set the edge on the run, and he's going to be a threat to the quarterback when you get that big. But the neat thing about it for me is that you get someone that's that size, he's day one ready to go. You don't have to worry about it. You get a 240-pound guy, no offense. We love him. We know he's going to go very high in the draft, but Mike Green out of Marshall, he's still listed at under 250. And there's a tremendous difference between 248 and 278. You know what I mean? Or 290. That's a guy, he may not be an every down guy for you, but he'll be first and second. You pull him out or you put him in on third and leave him in for another couple plays, let him get his rest and come back in. There's a lot more leverage that you have and a guy that's going to be in your lineup, not only for this year, but several to come. So again, Shemar Stewart, we wish him all the best, and we're betting on him. And speaking of bets, for those of you that place bets, there is a site that we have now, MyBookie, we'd like to tell you about. March Madness is here, and Vincent and I'm going to tell you right now, we got a Colorado State over here, and we got a Memphis State. We got a Tiger over there, and they're going to be playing tomorrow, but the tournament starts today. So if you're interested in knowing more about the promises of the high-stakes matchups, the wild finishes, big-time betting opportunities, and want to know a little bit more about it, go to MyBookie. You can go to mybookie.ag. That's the spot that you'd want to go. There's a promotional code that we have. It's called MBVIPMB. You do Michael Bravo, Victor, Indiana, Papa, Michael Bravo. Punch that code in there, and there are a lot of great little prizes that you can get. Little ways for you to earn extra chips. You can get cash back. There are free bets that are made available. So if that's something that you're interested in, please go to mybookie.ag. The promotional code, as I said, MBVIPMB. You can boost your bankroll. You can have additional deposits. Everything that you would want, all the information is available for you there. So again, go to mybookie.ag to take care of that. So for Vincent Turner, I'm Harper LeBel. Vincent, I didn't ask, give me your final thoughts here today on Shemar.
Top player in the draft is when we look at the defensive end position from a few years down the road, we're probably going to be talking about Shemar Stewart as the next great defensive end that's going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yep, absolutely. He's got all the tools that you would want. If he stays healthy, the sky's the limit for the young man, and we appreciate getting a chance to talk about him today. So for Logan Landers, our producer and engineer, for Vincent Turner, obviously a co-host, and he's the founder of 100 Yards of Football, this has been our Draft Prospect Show. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day.